Hello everyone, welcome back to another AFK journey video. In today's video, I wanted to show you a cool AFK stage team, which I've seen a little bit when I've been pushing to the higher stages. And after that, we're going to take a look at all the heroes, and I'm going to tell you which ones I see the most in AFK stage pushing and what ascension level they will need, so that you can work towards building up these heroes for your AFK stage progress. Because pushing AFK levels is always going to be helpful. It will allow you to get more rewards and just progress further. And so let's take a look at the team which people are using for this specific stage. Now, this is going to be a team which will not apply for all stages. It really needs that a lot of enemies come and group all around your entire team, because as you see here, the only damage source is Smokey. So you'll also need Smokey at Mythic Plus to pull off this type of combination, but it's an interesting idea, and it works out really well for those other stages, you know, where those flower blossom type enemies come right around you in melee range, and Smokey clears them really well as well. So all you really need is you need enough protection and sustain for your team with Hawyn, Rowan, and Coco, and then you have a really powerful tank like Entendre, and then you just wait for the third aura of Smokey, which is the blue aura, to kill everyone. It's a really fun team. I love seeing Smokey kill the entire enemy team. But of course you will need his Mythic Plus for this, because if you try to copy this team formation for AFK stages and he's not a Mythic Plus, he's not going to deal any damage, because it is from his empowered aura on the blue aura. And Hawyn is one hero I've seen a lot more in AFK stages, because she is such a great healer, provides such a protection for your team with damage reduction. And there you see, look at that. Everyone is dead, and these are really powerful enemies, so it feels really rewarding when you can get a kill like that.
Is everyone okay?
And if we take a look at the next AFK stage, maybe we can take a look at another popular team that people run. Okay, of course the Mauler team is still very viable, and from what I've seen, it's usually 5 Maulers. Usually Rowan is not used in these Mauler versions of teams, and it will rely on having a well-ascended OD at a high exclusive equipment level upgrade, but this is a very effective team that you see a lot. And that being said, there was a Rowan in the second team, so it is, I guess, up to preference whether you want to run double tank. I usually like double tank, Brutus and Entendre, rather than Rowan, but you can replace Entendre for Rowan in some compositions. And if we take a look at the multi-team, I have another team which is very popular in these higher AFK stages. This is probably the most popular team, involving Scarlita, Rainier, Iron, Arden, and Floribel. And for this team, you don't even need high ascension on anyone other than Iron and Arden. Iron and Arden ideally need to be Mythic Plus to pull off this composition, because they have really important skills which unlock a Mythic Plus. Iron gets to ultimate right at the beginning of the match, and Arden gets his Entangling Roots whenever he casts his ultimate. So these two really want Mythic Plus. The other heroes honestly can be even 1 copy, 2 copies, however ascended you have them, it's better, but this can work without that. So now let's take a look at all of the different heroes that I've seen in all the AFK stages, and I'm going to just talk about what I see the most. So Rainier and Scarlita in the new season are very commonly used heroes, even at lower AFK stage levels, because Scarlita can keep your frontline tank or whoever's tanking the damage alive for longer. Rainier can swap a high priority enemy into your side so that you kill it really quickly. And it works really well with the Arden Iron comp. So if you don't have Arden and Iron at Mythic Plus, maybe then this is not like a huge priority to have Rainier and Scarlita, but other than that, if you do have them at Mythic Plus, they're really strong. So, and you only need 1 copy of both of them. Obviously, you're going to be getting more copies of Rainier to try to get him to Mythic Plus, which is what my recommendation is for the Celestial Hypogeans, and leave 1 copy of Scarlita. Like on my other account that I played, I pushed many AFK stages with 1 copy of Scarlita, and that was fine. Okay, then coming to the next row, so Rowan is used. We just used him in the Smokey team. You saw people use him in the Mauler team, with Brutus as the only tank, and then you have Smokey and Rowan to keep your tank alive. And so he has a lot of good uses for that. He is a good AFK stage hero, used quite a lot. Brutus is another one, used a lot. And Brutus doesn't need ascension levels even at legendary or one copy epic, he can be very effective at pushing AFK stages. But if you can get him ascended, it is going to be a little bit better, like with any hero. But again, he's a one copy wonder, just like Rainier and Scarlita. They're really one copy wonders. Rowan, I feel like I think probably more copies, especially Mythic Plus, is helpful for him, but he can work with lower copies early on. Smokey, as you saw there, if you're going to use Smokey as a damage dealer, then you need a Mythic Plus. But if you're just going to use him as a healer to sustain you, you don't need him to be Mythic Plus. He can be at fewer copies, and he will keep your team and your frontline tanks alive. So he is also kind of like a one copy wonder, but at Mythic Plus, he becomes a damage dealer as well. But there are only very specific floors where you actually need to use him as a damage dealer. Otherwise, you're just relying on another damage dealer usually. Okay, so Hawyn I've seen a lot of, and I want to take a look at Hawyn's skills after we're done talking through all of these heroes, because Hawyn is a very strong hero, used in AFK stage pushing, and even in arena she's really powerful because of her damage reduction buff that she applies to your team. She keeps them alive for really long. And even in Honor Duel, I don't know if you've seen, but there are many wilder teams with highly ascended Hawyn, which will just destroy you in Honor Duel too. So she's a very strong hero. Granny, Danny, and Iron. So Iron is the most used hero in AFK stage pushing, hands down. He's even good for auto clear teams, which I use like with the Thorin, Carolina, Iron, Arden, and Damien, if they're all Mythic Plus. He is the most used, but you need to have him a Mythic Plus before he is at his maximum potential. So before getting Mythic Plus, I don't know if I would recommend him. I would probably just go for like an OD type Mauler team before Mythic Plus on Iron, but you can experiment with him before that. Granny Danny is an amazing tank, and she tanks better, and she also has crowd control if she can cast her ultimate. So she is used in a lot of AFK stages, especially in the multi-stages where you have to put together two strong teams. She's a really good option, but again, I think she needs Ascension to do well. Like if she is at few low, not many copies, she is not going to be that great. Thorin is in some ways a one copy wonder because he has his resurrection as soon as you get him at even epic. But at Mythic Plus, he does become more powerful because he has a third life by taking health from the soul pacted enemy. But he can do just fine in AFK stage pushing with one copy, so he is, in my opinion, a one copy wonder. Floorbell is definitely a one copy wonder. There are many even higher AFK stages which have been pushed with even an epic Floorbell. But of course, Ascension is going to make her better like with any hero, but she is totally functional at one copy. Carolina is a hero used in quite a few AFK stages, but she really wants, again, Mythic Plus for maximum potential. I haven't actually seen her use in an AFK stage below Mythic Plus. So again, just like Iron and Carolina, they're really key heroes you want to have a Mythic Plus to function well. Hawyn, I'm not sure about the Ascension level needed for her. I think she can do her job even with one copy, but I have mainly seen her at a higher ascended level. Okay, now Igor, Cecilia are not really used in AFK stage pushing anymore in the new season. In the old, like when you start a fresh account before any new seasons, then Cecilia is useful and she's good for AFK stage pushing, but right now she isn't really. And apart from that, other heroes here, of course, we have OD, but other than that, Lucius, no, mainly only for Legend Trial. I've only seen him. Other than that, no AFK stage pushing needed. But we have these three, OD, Entendre, and Coco the Maulers. These are used in many AFK stages. Like, if you're using OD, 90% of the time, along with him, you're using Coco and Entendre as well. Like, Entendre is one of the best tanks. If she can get herself set up and you have your heals active for her, she can tank better than any other hero in the game. Brutus is that immediate, like, tank the immediate amount of damage, which is targeted at the beginning of the match because he has the invincibility. But Entendre for long-term tanking is the best. Coco provides that damage reduction or damage staggering and also a shield buff if she's Mythic Plus. So these three are highly used, and Coco at Mythic Plus is amazing, but even with one or two copies like at a lower Ascension, she is functional. OD, again, like the higher copies you have, the better he is, but he can work at not very highly ascended either. And Entendre, same thing, like she can work with lower copies. I've seen plenty of AFK stages push with her at Legendary, even Epic Plus, things like that. But of course, higher Ascension will be better for her. And then we have Arden, Damien. Arden and Damien are used in a lot of AFK stages as well, and those are the only other two left here. The other A-level heroes are not used in the optimal AFK stage pushing teams. I have never seen them, other than Legend Trials, so they are useful to build up, but Arden and Damien, because at Mythic Plus, they both unlock their full potential, or almost their full potential. Supreme Plus, of course, is better for every hero, but Mythic Plus is a huge power boost for both of these heroes. And they're used in a lot of AFK stages, especially Arden is used the most. Arden, Iron are the two most used heroes in AFK stages, and they need to be a Mythic Plus for them to be functional. So they should be a major priority for you. And yeah, like, after you're done with your Dream Realm boss damage dealers, Merrily, OD, and maybe even Corrin, or maybe you can even skip Corrin, and you can begin working on Arden to get him to Mythic Plus, because it will help you a lot in your AFK stage pushing. So now let's take a look at Hawyn. In the new season, yeah, this is, I guess, why she's being used a lot, because she gives a pretty powerful damage and haste buff for your key damage dealer to the ally who has dealt the most damage and has a HP ratio above 75%. That's pretty crazy. But if we take a look at her other skills, her ultimate will heal everyone for a pretty decent amount, because it lasts for 9 seconds, and it's 100% of her attack as HP healing, which is a high amount of healing. But the skill which we're really looking for is this one at Mythic Plus. So yeah, so this is why Hawyn will need Mythic Plus for her full potential, especially also in Arena if you're considering running her. Because when she casts Rain Prayer, all allies take 30% less damage. Rain Prayer is her ultimate. And so that 30% less damage is huge. And it's because it lasts for 9 seconds while your whole team is getting healed. It's such a powerful buff. And also at level 2 at +5 exclusive equipment, she has 300 initial energy, which is really good, because then she'll be able to cast an ultimate really quickly and keep your team alive for longer. Like, the 30% less damage is almost as much as a Coco buff. Coco, I think, reduces damage by 45%, if I remember correctly. This is 30%, and there's also healing you, and there's no staggering. At the end of her ultimate, it's not like you get popped with all the damage like with Coco's ultimate. So Hawyn is really strong, and it is upgraded to 32% at level 2. At level 3, it's upgraded to 34%, and also her Rain Prayer will grant. When the Rain Prayer takes effect, Hawyn's healing grants buffs from Revitalize, and all their allies' damage take is reduced. So the Revitalize effect, I think you can see in one of these abilities. We have, where is Revitalize was one included in one of her abilities. Okay, Revitalizes this ability. When the current HP ratio of an ally is below 50%, Hawyn grants them a healing bonus, so if they're below 50% when her Rain Prayer is casted, if she's +10 exclusive equipment, which is kind of like a late game priority. Like, early game, you need to focus on your Dream Realm damage dealers, even your Iron, Arden, your heroes that can be used in Arena and also AFK stage pushing. Hawyn is way down the line in priority, but eventually her +10 exclusive equipment is very strong, because applying this Revitalize is going to grant bonus healing if they're below 50%, and also it removes all their dispellable buffs. So when you cast Rain Prayer, if anyone is debuffed, it removes those dispellable debuffs, I'm sorry, and the effect can be triggered. Yeah, the extra healing takes effect, and there's a healing bonus. So yeah, I guess +10 is not a huge priority. +5 is really where she becomes really, really strong, but +10 is like late game the priority. So anyway, guys, that's what I wanted to talk about in today's video. Hopefully give you a good idea of which heroes you should be targeting and how highly ascended you should try to get them for your AFK stage pushing. In the end, like, even if you would have lower ascension level, all it will take is for you to level up a little bit higher than the copy formation, and you should still be able to put together the same team later on. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. That's going to be it for this one. I'm going to be planning to upload another video later today, and so stay tuned for that. But thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will hopefully see you in the next video. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, because we upload daily AFK journey content with guides and updates and all the cool things I find in the game to help you just progress faster and understand maybe some different parts of the game a little bit better. But thank you for watching, guys. I will see you in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now.